All praise belongs to Allah, and peace and blessings be upon His final messenger, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, and on his family, and on his companions, and on all those who follow the right way of guidance. To continue, my dear brothers and sisters, today we are in front of a very beautiful series and a very beautiful topic concerning the most beautiful books that exist in this world. Today we're going to start a series talking about the Qur'an, the book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down to the humans as a guidance from above the seven heavens through the messenger Jibreel, the angel Jibreel alayhi salam, to the last and final prophet and messenger to the humans, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It is this book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about that if all the humans and all the jinn came together to produce a book like it, that they couldn't do it. It's a very unique book. And how can it not be unique if Allah is the one who sent it and who promised to preserve it? But on top of that, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself challenged all the humans and all the creation that if they doubt this book, that they produce something like it. And not only did he put forward that challenge, he even said that anyone trying this challenge will set himself just up for failure. And in the middle of the 20th century, there was a scholar from the Islamic University of Al-Azhar in Egypt. It was the Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah Darras that took it as a project for himself to create another work that clarifies and presents this point of the challenge of the Qur'an in a very beautiful and unique way. He chose to research and put together a work of investigation about the Qur'an in a way that wasn't really done before. Yes, the information that he took in this book was there before from the scholars of this ummah, the giants of knowledge of this ummah, since the death of the Prophet ﷺ until now, 1,400 years of Islamic scholarship speaking about the miraculous nature of the Qur'an. But Sheikh Abdullah Darras, he had a unique way of presenting this challenge that I would say is very, very suitable for people in our time to get catched and to be used as a means of an introduction about the miraculous nature of the Qur'an and understanding how this book is so miraculous and how it cannot be imitated and how this challenge, how we as Muslims can understand this challenge. And in that context, he wrote the book An-Naba al-Azim, and that's the book that we want to discuss in this series. And the name An-Naba al-Azim is based upon one of the surahs of the Qur'an that is called Surah An-Naba, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم. And when this book was translated into the English language, the title of the book was changed a bit, but it still reflects the greatness of the topic that Sheikh Muhammad Darras discussed within it. And the title got changed into An Eternal Challenge. And this is what the Qur'an is, an eternal challenge to anyone who doubts it. And even anyone who is curious about it and wants to put it to test, because it is reasonable for someone to say, I don't want to follow a book just because it calls me to follow it. I want to see if this is really from God. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala satisfies this intellectual desire for wanting to know and wanting to see like the proof, the evidence for this book. So in this book that I'm going to try my best to teach you its contents, Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah Darras, he goes on two investigations. Yes, we're going to put our detective hats on and follow these investigations about the Qur'an. And there are two very beautiful investigations. The first one is that he investigates the one who brought forward the Qur'an, and that is the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And he exhausts all the possibilities around the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ with the question, with the overlying question, is it possible or could there be any possibility that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ got the Qur'an from somewhere else than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is there any possibility? And we're really going to exhaust all the possibilities, and we're going to see like how we come to the conclusion that this was not possible. And this is the first investigation. But Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah Darras didn't stop there. And this is the beauty of this book. Because he said, now we're going to go on a second investigation. And we're going to treat the Qur'an as a book that was found in the desert. And as if we don't know who brought this book forward. Not even looking, like all the investigation we did with the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in the first half of the book, we're going to leave it to the side, and we're going to look at the Qur'an in isolation. And just from the text, and just looking at the text, is it possible that this kind of text could come from anything in the creation, whether it be human or spiritual beings like the jinn or any other creation? Is this possible? This is the second part of the investigation. It's very exciting. I hope you're excited as I am. And this is going to be a very beautiful journey for every Muslim that want to raise his iman and achieve a higher level of certainty, of yaqeen, and as well for those who want to be able to communicate the evidence of this book to others and show that indeed this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's only one condition that Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah Darras mentions in the introduction to the book, that the reader or the consumer of this content should have before they go into it. And that is that they should come into this investigation without pre-assumptions, without having certain assumptions about the Qur'an and about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Yes, we Muslims, we have positive assumptions. But even if we have doubts in some kind of things, and we are affected by some of the doubts that externally got into our heart, let's put that all aside. Let's not even be biased in favor of the Qur'an, but let's follow this objectively and see where this investigation will lead us. See you there. Assalamu alaikum.